So I just got done installing my Barrina T5 LED lighting for my garage, and honestly, this is kind of an amazing setup. Now, bear in mind, the cost of this was relatively affordable. I feel like the value far outweighed the expense. I'll come and show you, but I do have to give you a fair warning. My garage is a disaster. We just finished Airbnb season, but come on in anyway. So coming on into my garage here, the first light you're going to see here is actually hardwired into our garage. So every time the light would come on when the garage door opens or shuts, that one turns on. It's significantly brighter than the tiny little bulb that was in there before, but it's not overkill. I don't need to turn on everything every time I come in the garage. Now, because my camera on my phone is going to auto adjust for the lighting, I'm actually going to lock in the exposure so it doesn't change, so I can show you the single light. That's about how bright that is. Single light versus all the lights. So the install for this took maybe about an hour, and I kind of took my time, and I also did a little rewiring. Even though I don't have any electrical experience, I just matched color for color. White went to white, green went to green, black went to black. And anytime I was working with electric, I made sure I actually powered off everything from the main breaker just to be safe. Once everything was off, I essentially pulled out the light that was here. I ended up pulling out 3 quarts. It was a white one, a green one, and a black one. And cool enough, that was exactly what this offered as well, white, green, and black. And I just pretty much connected all the same colors with the same ones. I used some wire nuts just to lock it in, and yeah, connected them. Connected these 2 first, and then I essentially went around my garage making a U shape. That's what everybody else was on YouTube was doing for my garage. It made sense as well, and that was pretty easy. Now for the garage, this is something I ended up wanting to do is I wanted it to be completely automated to the best of my ability. And again, not a ton of experience, but I had this little plug right there that pretty much plugged into a light socket, opening up a port for a plug-in. And that was a super easy fix. Just leave it turned on. And then every time the garage door opens or shuts, this guy right here turns on automatically without having to turn the entire system on every time I'm coming and going. So I think with everything, it's gonna have like a ton of pros, but there might be a con or two. And so this is the only con that I do have. So this is some of the wiring that they do offer. This guy is about, I don't know, 3-4 feet. It's really, really long, and I didn't wanna have a ton of wires hanging. I didn't wanna have to like get a wire router just to kind of get everything out of the way. So what I did is I took 2 of these little 3, maybe 4-inch ones, and I just connected them in. Made sure I was just, avoiding all the wires from being in contact with each other, and I just pretty much made these into this. I'd say it's fairly easy. It doesn't look the greatest, truthfully. I don't think anybody else is gonna notice but me, but I might try to clean this up a little bit later. But other than that, this system's awesome. The only thing I kind of wish I would have done is maybe gone 5,000 Kelvin. Instead of the 6,500 Kelvin. I was looking at cost at the time, and it was a little bit cheaper for the cooler lighting. When I'm in here, it doesn't make a difference. But when I open the garage and I have natural 50, 200, 5,000 Kelvin lighting, daylight, it does look a little bit off, but as soon as I shut that garage, you can't tell the difference. So overall, I would say this definitely gets a 5 out of 5 in my books for how easy it was to install, for the value that it brought into my house and my usable space, and now I get to go clean the garage. But for you, I would say if you're looking at a good system that is not going to break the bank, Barrina offers quite a lot of value for the expense that it costs. Honestly, that's ridiculous. And I think you're going to think the same.
Okay, here's the garage that was built. Let me turn this light off, and let me turn on the overhead lights, and there we go. Now, as you can see, I've installed 14 of them, 6 down the middle. There they are, little single 4-foot lights. They're not exactly 4 foot, they are a little short, but hey, they provide plenty of light. And as you can see, put them up here. Got 1 plug, ran all the lights down that row with the same on the other. 6 down the middle, 4 on either side of me. coming down. The packaging is very light. Yes, the hardware is very lightweight. Yes, the screws are small, but they screwed right into the studs just fine. I wasn't fitting them in drywall, nor would I try to fit a little screw like that into drywall. But these little pieces of metal right here, you got to be real careful putting them in that you don't bend them, because once they bend, they want to break when you try to bend them back. But as you can see, 14 lights in a 24 by 36 garage provide plenty of light all the way around. So even in the corners.
I'm doing a quick review for the Barrina LED shop lights. It's a 12 pack. Ran them in my basement workshop, 2 rows of 6. Quick review, you only get 6 of these power connectors. The double-ended cables you get 12 of. These are 47 inches a piece, which means they can be 46 inches apart. You lose about half an inch on each connector when you plug it in. The lights themselves are 46 exactly long, end to end, and when you use this coupler to put them together, you get exactly 46 inches each. And the little end caps here too, if you don't have a coupler on them to connect them to each other. The only problem I had with it, I was not happy with the metal clip that holds these in. You barely get enough of them, and they're also very cheap, thin metal. If I was to sandwich these in and press them up and snap them in, about maybe 1 out of 3 kind of bent over and had to be pushed back into place. But they're so lightweight that it doesn't really matter. They still are held in place. You could probably figure another way to even double-sided tape if you're going to stick them to a flat surface.